fellow humans. It's May, Megan Lee here, and I'm a therapist, and I'm still celebrating May's Mental Health Month. And if you saw my last video where I got some awesome help from some friends to highlight the importance of getting mental health services, then awesome. Hopefully you'll like this video where we check out people who went and got mental health services. Let's hear some stories to break the stigma.
To help remove the stigma of getting help for mental health, I wanted to share that in the past, I myself have received therapy for past traumas as well as abuse. Two things I want to share from that experience is you are never alone, and B, always keep fighting. It is not a bad thing to receive help to better yourself.
Hello. When I was growing up, I struggled with self-harm and thoughts about hurting myself. I knew I couldn't handle it on my own, so I sought help from a therapist. The therapist that I went to helped me identify the stress and triggers that were causing these thoughts. The therapist also helped me to organize my thoughts and to approach them in a healthy way instead of in a way that included harming myself. It helped me very much, and it can also help you.
For me, I struggled with abandonment my whole life. Ever since I can remember, but I would just kind of push it under the rug, try to get over it, deal with it the best I could, forget about it, pretend like it wasn't bothering me, when deep down it was. It affected everything in my life. Finally, when I had my daughter, shortly after, it just brought everything to the surface. Postpartum issues as well, but really just needed to deal with all these feelings that I'd had my whole life and never really been able to talk about. So I went to therapy and got tools to cope and faced them head on and talked about it and, reasoned and got it out. And man, I just felt like a brand new person. I don't know where I would be if I didn't go to therapy. And then later on in life, dealing with a divorce and things like that brought all those feelings back. But this time I had the tools, I had the knowledge, I had help before it got to a bad point. And I don't know where I don't know if I'd be alive without therapy. So cannot recommend it enough. I recommend it to everybody.
So sometimes I kind of think that people assume because of the job I have that every relationship in my life must be perfect. Well, my marriage is pretty amazing, but it's not perfect because no marriage is. So, yep, have we gone to marriage counseling? Twice. Once at the beginning of our relationship, and then before we had kids, struggling with getting pregnant, and then later after we had the kids and life became so stressful we hardly had time to even look at each other. So, I don't know, I guess a couple things that I really liked and took from marriage counseling was our first counselor asked us if we believed in divorce. And we're like, what are you talking about? Actually, both of our parents were divorced. Yeah, we believe it's a real thing. But he explained not to use the word divorce because we're in a committed relationship. And this commitment is going to take work, but we're going to get mad at each other sometimes, so we can never throw around the big D word. So I feel like that was one little tidbit that was really helpful. So we go on and on about why it's important and what we benefited from, but that was just what I wanted to share. Thanks. Wow. Thank you so much to everyone who shared their personal experience with counseling. That was fantastic. Because there is a stigma, I wasn't sure what the response would be. I just put out a simple request on my own Facebook saying, hey, anyone want to share their own experience with counseling? And I had a ton of responses. So that was pretty awesome. Anyway, thank you for sharing. I want to leave you with another thought that I got from Facebook, author unknown as usual. And it's so true. Going to a counselor or therapist when you're feeling sad or overwhelmed should be just as normal as going to a doctor when we have the flu. And if we keep this in mind, we're going to end the stigma surrounding mental health. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for celebrating with me. And this is so funny. Happy May! Bye, guys. Be well.